So here we have 884 and 5/10 times 5 and 5/10. Now remember, with a commutative property, it states that it doesn't matter which ones are first or second when you're multiplying. So to make it easier on yourself, you always line the longest one up on top. So we're going to do 84 and 5/10 on the top. And we don't have to line up decimals when you multiply decimals. That's only for adding and subtracting. So instead we line it up on the far right. Now this time they do line up, but not all the time is that going to happen. And then we multiply. So we don't care about the decimal at first. So we're going to think 845 times 55. So 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 2 is 42. Okay, so our multiplication rules are all the same. So when we're done, we play tic-tac-toe, X's and O's, and we get rid of these little guys on top. And then we multiply by the tens, or in this case the ones. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22. And 5 times 8 is 40, plus 2 is 42. And then we add them up. Okay, so multiplying is no different than when we multiplied whole numbers. It's exactly the same. So the big thing to remember is your X's and O's, so don't forget your zeros. Now, to figure out where the decimal goes, we have to count up how many total decimal spaces over our decimals are. So in this one, it looks like it is just over one spot. So I'm going to put that off to the side, and it's one frog jump over to between the 5 and the 4. This one also is one spot over, so I'm going to put that over here. And then we combine these two, so I can see that it's 2 spots over. So that means in our answer, we're going to go 1, 2 spots over, and that's where we're going to put our decimal. Okay, let's try one more. Here I have 2 and 39 hundredths times 2 and 7/10. Once again, the commutative property says we could do either one first, so I'm going to put the long one on top. So 2 and 39 hundredths times 2 and 7/10. So remember, we want them all the way on the right, just like that. Okay. We don't line up decimals, so sometimes they line up, sometimes they don't. 7 times 9 is 63. Carry the 6. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 6 is 27. Carry the 2. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. Okay, and then we play tic-tac-toe, X's and O's, and get rid of the little guys so we don't accidentally use them again. Then 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And 2 times 2 is 4. And then we add these up. Okay, so the only thing that's different is where do we put the decimal in our answer. So just finish the adding here. Okay. Now, before we do the decimal on this, I wanted to show you something too. If you look at just the whole numbers, we have a 2 and a 2. If I multiply them, 2 times 2, I get 4. That means my answer should be somewhere around 4. So if I get something that's way off, then I know I did something wrong with either my multiplication or my decimal. So let's look at this one. This one is 1, 2 jumps over this time. And this one is 1 jump over. So that's a grand total of 3, 2 plus 1. So that means we start here and we jump between the numbers 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So my decimal would go here, so I would have 6 and 453 thousandths. Now if you remember when I checked this, 2 times 2 was 4. This is 6, so that's pretty close. If I happened to put the decimal here and had it 64, or here and had 645, that wouldn't be anywhere near 4. Okay, so that's how you multiply decimals.